Welcome to the GTN show. On this week's show, Ironman updates their rulebook, Pinboard breaks some records, and World Triathlon adjusts the field sizes to compensate for Abu Dhabi cancellation. Flying solo today as Mark and Heather are on leave. Starting with reacts as we always do, Sarah Crowley has officially announced her retirement. She says in a post, "Today marks the end of a 22-year career racing elite triathlon. I've lived the dream for the last 8 years, making amazing memories and meeting fantastic lifelong friends all over the world. This was made possible by the incredible support of my brands. I grew up in Adelaide, South Australia, a small and remote city, and am blown away by the opportunities this world brings if you truly focus on what you want. To every little girl, you can do anything. I have a new and exciting opportunity that I cannot wait to share. As for now, my body is sore and tired and ready for a rest and a party." Well, I think she deserves a party. She's had a really good career. Congratulations, Sarah, and good luck on the next adventure. We can't wait to hear what it is. Next, Matt Hansen has welcomed a little girl. Congratulations to Matt and Ashley on the arrival of Olivia Jo Hansen, weighing 7 pounds and 9 ounces on March the 14th. Congratulations, guys, and welcome to the world of parenting. And then Michelle Vesterby has won Ultraman Arizona. Yep, Ultraman, the ridiculous event that covers triple Ironman distance over the course of 3 days. She actually finished overall champion as well as female champion, obviously, in 24 hours and 3 minutes, nearly 2.5 hours ahead of the next competitor, the first male competitor. Very well done for her, and she smiled most of the time, although there were a few clips in there where she wasn't smiling. Yeah, very impressive, Michelle. Congratulations on that one. And then we saw this from the world of running. Camille Herron, ultra runner extraordinaire, has broken the world record for the longest 6-day run. Wrap your head around this if you can. 560 miles, that's 901 kilometers over the course of 6 days, from March 6th to March 12th. The race was on a 2.5 mile loop around Lake Kahula, mostly dirt, and it was a special event organized by Lululemon. Now, she broke the previous record, which was held by New Zealand's Sandra Barwick, from all the way back in 1990, and she only broke it by 11 miles, but she did break it. Heron did an average pace for the whole period of 15:22 per mile. That's 9:33 per kilometer, and that includes all stops and everything else. And this is where it gets really crazy. Along the way, she broke 12 other records. So I'm just going to run through them quickly. She broke the 48-hour USA Track and Field American road record of 247 miles covered in 48 hours. Her track record still stands. She also holds, though, of 270 miles. She also broke the 300-mile record, covering it in 59 hours, 54 minutes. She broke the 500-kilometer record, covering that in 62 hours, 50 minutes. She broke the 3-day record, covering 342 miles. She broke the 600-kilometer record, the 400-mile record, the 4-day record at 429 miles, the 700-kilometer record, the 800-kilometer record, the 500-mile record at 118 hours. She broke the 5-day record at 501 miles and the 900-kilometer record at 142 hours. And of course, the 6-day IAU world best performance of 560 miles, 0.330. That is, absolutely incredible running feat. And before you think, well, that was all fun and games and she's just incredible, she posted this afterwards: "I don't feel well right now. World records always break me in every way. 6 days was an extreme overload that went beyond typical muscle brain fatigue pain. I was losing any control I had of my organs. The medical team was doing tests and helping me keep it together. My bladder urinary tract went first. This put me on antibiotic because of a UTI. It helped a little, but I had to normalize incontinence. Then my bowels lost control in the last 2 days. It felt like bumper cars inside, with my bowels in spasms from jostling of running. My lips, tongue, mouth hurt from consuming massive quantities of food, beverages. There's things that happened out there I can't talk about. Somehow I found a way to stay positive, happy, and to keep going. It was worth the pain and suffering." If you say so. I don't think I'm attempting anything like that. We do some crazy challenges, but that's next level. Well done to her, and I don't think anyone's going to be breaking those records anytime soon. Now it's time for Tri News, and ahead of the Ironman's Pro Series, which starts next month in Oceanside, Ironman have updated their competition rules, and a lot of these won't affect your average age grouper, although if you were considering sticking a bottle down your tri-suit at your next Ironman, that's a no-no now. And there's a few other changes too, so let's run through them quickly. With a water bottle down the tri-suit, no more. Additional equipment that has the effect of reducing wind resistance is prohibited during the bike segment of the race, whether such equipment is worn under the athlete's clothing, over the athlete's clothing, or is otherwise attached to the athlete's body or the athlete's bike. This includes, but is not limited to, 1. Any bottles, hydration, or any other insert located in the front of an athlete's race suit, and 2. Any insert in an athlete's calf sleeves, and if you contravene that, it will result in disqualification. So that's gone. You won't see Sam Ledlow with a bottle down his suit or Magnus Ditlev with a bottle down his suit at an Ironman event again. Littering. Intentional or careless littering will now garner a 5-minute penalty or a DQ. Previously it was a DQ, now it's potentially just a 5-minute penalty. Athletes shall not dispose of trash or equipment, including but not limited to water bottles, gel bar wrappers, broken bike parts, clothing items, etc. on the course, except at aid stations or other designated trash disposal points. Intentional or careless littering will result in 5-minute time penalty or disqualification. And then the zipper rule, which Matt Sharp was on the receiving end of not too long ago, last year in 17.3 Main. Uniforms with a front zipper may be unzipped to any length, so now you can have it unzipped. However, they must be connected at the bottom of the uniform at all times, and 2, the top of the uniform should cover the shoulders at all times, and that'll be a 30 or a 60-second time penalty and a disqualification if you don't fix it straight away. Also, we've seen quite a few pros taping up their Aero bars, so maybe taping the 2 bars of the Aero bars together to create an almost fairing, and putting duct tape and various other places. That also is no more. Protective screens, fuselage fairings, or any other devices or materials, including duct tape, specified there, added or blended into the structure with the intent to reduce or having the effect of reducing resistance to air penetration are prohibited. Aerodynamic assemblies and protuberances on the head tube or elsewhere are prohibited, also resulting in a disqualification, which means we also shouldn't see things like Joe Skipper's bottles above his arms, or any of the other things that we see, like a really ridiculously big bottle cage at the back, bottle mount at the back that turns into a bit of a fairing. Those are all going to be banned. Now, some of these rules are not 100% clear actually on how they're going to be enforced or where the line is. They kind of give a bit of freedom for the referees to decide on the go. Potentially that's intentional, but it does leave a bit of a murky area. I mean, if you have to stick duct tape on something to hold it together or hold something on, for example, your Aero bar arm pad is going to come off because the glue's lost its glue or its Velcro, and you put duct tape on that, are you going to get disqualified for that? Also, if you miss a littering zone and you have a bottle but you have no bottle cage to put it in, are you just supposed to hold it in your hand until the next aid station, or are you allowed to shove it down your suit just for that little bit and then discard it? And because if you discard it, you might get disqualified, or you might get a 5-minute penalty. But if you stick it down your suit, you definitely are getting disqualified. It's just a whole can of worms. Anyway, it's not something I have to deal with, and I'm sure the athletes will be poring over those new rules very closely, trying to figure out what they can and cannot do. Also from Ironman, in an effort to update their athlete experience, they've updated their webpage to include a My Ironman profile page unique for every athlete. So you can log on there, create your user login details, and then log in, and you'll be able to see all the events in your area. You'll be able to see all your past events back to at least 2017. You'll also be able to see future and upcoming events that you've registered for, as well as events that are in your area, and you can also join tri clubs, etc. in your area direct from that profile page. So quite a good little thing to bring all your Ironman experience together. I actually logged into mine, having not done an Ironman event for a while now, and actually haven't done one since 2019, but I logged in and I could see all my results all the way back to 2009 for 50 Ironman events that I'd done in that period. So maybe you can go way further back than 2017. It is quite interesting to pore over them and see where you've been. Kind of brings back a lot of memories. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that, and it is a useful tool. It definitely does help give a big overview of your Ironman experience. Moving on, and World Triathlon have announced additional field sizes for quite a few upcoming races to make up for the fact that Abu Dhabi WTCS was cancelled. Following the cancellation of last weekend's World Triathlon Championship Series Abu Dhabi, World Triathlon's executive board has agreed to approve an increase in the sizes of start lists at the World Triathlon Championship Series, World Cups, World Triathlon Para Series, and World Triathlon Para Cups within the Olympic and Paralympic qualification periods. The World Triathlon Championship Series races in Yokohama and Cagliari will see extended entries from 55 to 60 per gender, while the start lists at those World Cups to be hosted before the 28th of May will be increased from 65 to 70 athletes per gender. And World Triathlon Para Series in Montreal and Para Cups in Taranto and Besancon will be of 2 athletes per gender and per medal event. This is all obviously because a lot of athletes are under a lot of pressure to get the points they need to qualify both a slot for their country, but also to qualify themselves for the Olympic Games. And with WTCS Abu Dhabi being cancelled at the last minute, a lot of them are in a position now where they're really going to struggle to do that. One of the other issues, obviously, there was supposed to be a mixed relay at Abu Dhabi, and that didn't happen. However, there will be no replacement for the mixed relay event. They said in a statement, while concessions have been made for individual racing, World Triathlon confirmed that there will be additional mixed relay event before the end of the cycle, with the final race held in the World Triathlon Cup in Hotelco. After consultation with coaches and athletes committee, World Triathlon has decided that there will be no replacement of the Abu Dhabi Mixed Relay Series event. That's not such an issue for many athletes. However, the mixed relay and qualifying the team for the mixed relay for the Olympic Games is obviously on every country's agenda, so it does make that a little bit more difficult, but hopefully the additional field sizes will make it a little bit easier to navigate this year. On to our race news, and there was only one race this past weekend. That was Ironman 70.3 Campeche in Mexico. The winner there on the women's side, Cecilia Alaves, and on the men's side, Thomas Rodriguez, both Mexicans taking out the win. This coming weekend, 70.3 Geelong is coming up, and then we're looking ahead to the T100 in Singapore in April. There's also the Ironman 70.3 Oceanside also in April, so the season really does kick off then. And they've released the start list, or the preliminary start list for that T100. It was actually on the World Triathlon website rather than the T100 website. I'm not sure whether World Triathlon have jumped the gun there, but there were some interesting names on there. India Lee and Lucy Charles-Barkley defend, and surely those two will be going head-to-head after their last battle. But also in the mix now is Ashley Gentle, and Chelsea Sodaro starts her T100 campaign. Lucy Buckingham also returns, and we saw her going head-to-head with Lucy Charles-Barkley for the first 40 Ks of that bike, and then she succumbed to food poisoning she had the day before. So hopefully this time she can stick with her for a bit longer and all the way onto the run. The women who have opted out is quite a few. In fact, there are 12 wildcards on the list. The ones who are not racing: Holly Lawrence, who did really well in the last one, Paula Finley, Daniela Reef, Sky Munch, Tamara Jewett, Emma Pallant-Brown, Kat Matthews, Anne Haug, Laura Phillip, Taylor Nibb, Flora Duffy, and Taylor Spivey. Those last three obviously understandable as they prepare for the Olympics, but the rest clearly choosing that Singapore doesn't particularly suit them with the heat and humidity. On the men's side, a lot more of them are actually opting to go, with only 3 sitting out. Matthias Magira, who was third at the Miami, he'll be out. Martin Van Riel, also focusing on the Olympics, won't be there. Enrico Bogan has opted out of this one, and the rest will be there. That does leave space. Max Newman will be in, winner of Ibiza last year, so we'll look to see how he goes against Ditlev, Sam Long, Alistair Brownlee, and also Carl Smith has been called up onto that list. There was a little joke on social media that it was the first he had heard of it. I'm not sure whether that was true or whether they had been in touch with him, or whether World Triathlon have really let the cat out the bag there and let an athlete know that he's racing without him actually being told that he was racing. Either way, we're excited to see Carl Smith mix it up with the boys in Singapore. All right, now it's time for our Pinboard, and for March, we're asking for your ideal training locations, or getting out in spring, or the magic views that you see while you're out training for your triathlon. Slim pickings this week. Either you guys are having really bad weather and you're still all in your pain caves, or you've just forgotten to send. But if you want to upload them, On the screen right now is the upload link. Send us your stunning pictures or just take a happy snap next time you're out on the bike. We'd love to see where you're training and what the scenery looks like, even if it's not that good. We can all feel sorry for you. We did get this one from Jackie though, from Arundel, and they say, this is one of our weekly gentle trail runs around Arundel, West Sussex. Having endured months of UK rain, I feel you. Finally, a sunny day to enjoy the first signs of spring. As usual, our runs start together with different groups splitting off to accommodate everyone's abilities and training needs. This time, the shorter group completed 9 km while the longer 27 km on the South Days Way before looping back. Yeah, looks like they had a lot of fun and they're all preparing for different events. Norwegian swim races in the Norwegian fjords, sprint triathlons, park runs, marathon des Sables, and even Ironman Bolton. Good luck to all of you and your group. Thank you for sending in your video. And like I said, the rest of you, use the uploader and send us your great training locations. We'd love to see where you're training. Say what? Okay, we're gonna look at some of your comments, or a comment from this week. We always try to pick a funny one, and you can leave your comments below this video or any of our videos. We always read them, so don't be shy. This one, I don't actually have a name, user TQ3UD blah blah blah, says, hi Mark, thanks for the video. I just finished watching your new TV series, The Gentleman, and thought you played the character of the Duke very well. Indeed, you are a man of many talents. Yeah, I'm not sure Mark does look like the Duke in Gentleman, but we'll definitely put that to Mark and see what he thinks. I think he probably looks more like the brother who played the chicken when he was in the chicken costume. Anyway, moving swiftly along. Coming up on the channel later this week, Mark and I headed to the wind tunnel at Silverstone and spent some time in there, well, doing some silly stuff, because we wanted to see how slow retro kit actually was. So we compared very retro kit with our latest, greatest kit to see how much time those guys from the 80s were actually losing. And it meant we had to get Mark in Speedos and singlets in the wind tunnel. And I can tell you, Speedos and a singlet is significantly slower. That video coming out this weekend. If you're looking for something to watch right now, I got thrown in some really cold water this past weekend as I attempted an ice mile. I didn't get anywhere near a mile and I got really cold. Also, if you're looking for something a little bit more educational than me jumping in really cold water for your entertainment purposes, Heather did a very interesting piece on HRV. So if you've been looking at your HRV numbers from your smartwatch or whatever your wearable device is that's telling you every morning what your HRV is and not having a clue what that actually means, well, head over and watch that video right now because it's quite informative and interesting. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.